You're listening to Evolving Moons Podcast with Jess and Katie.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Evolving Moons.
Jess and Katie.
Jess and Katie here.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
It feels good to be potting, though. It really does.
Yeah.
I feel like we haven't in
You
a
know
while,
why?
but we obviously did last week.
But it's like because we took such a long break because we recorded all those episodes. We recorded like 4 episodes in 1 week.
But we've potted since then.
Only one, though.
Yeah.
So.
That's true.
And also, I feel like we just haven't hung out because you've been traveling.
Yeah.
So that's maybe also why.
Well, you were traveling, and then we hung out like once or twice.
And then
twice.
Yeah.
We recorded, and then we had a
Dancing with the Stars night.
Yeah. We hang out a lot, what are we saying? We went to SushiCon, we watched Dancing with the Stars.
If we don't hang out for like 1 week, we're like, it's
we're like, I've been gone for a week, we haven't hung out.
We're stupid.
Oh, man.
Anywho, today we're talking about traveling. A whole fun thing about traveling. Like, we asked you guys some questions on our Instagram, so we're going to go over those after we go over our card. But
yeah, this is just kind of a more fun, light
something we've
episode.
Been doing, so we kind of want to share that with you.
Yeah.
And then also, just something that we're passionate about and think is important.
Yeah. Traveling. So I tried to pick a card for this, and it's really hard to ask specific questions because it's not like...
It's not telling your fortune.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want it to do. You know, I'm like, ask it why we should travel. And you're like...
I'm like, it's a fucking card. Like, what do you mean? I can't tell you all that. But I feel like, is this the card that we picked last episode?
Yeah, either last or the one before.
Really recently we picked this card. I used the moon deck. I don't know what I asked. I was like,
why do we need to travel?
Why do I need to travel? What's important about it? Like, for us.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How can we find ourselves through traveling? Like, all
but I picked the Play is My Pathway to Joy card, and it has the little girl upside down on the moon, which is really nice. And, this card, it was all about, it's time to let go and to live life, like enjoy the better things in life without having any guilt.
Yeah. Yeah,
which I think
it
goes nice with traveling because I feel like that is why we travel. It's time. Yeah. It's a time for us to explore and like learn and grow in that way and be maybe inspired or just
also a lot of people travel for joy. They travel or also for play. Like, yes, you can travel for work or whatever, but
a lot of people like a vacation kind of thing.
Yeah, they travel to be happy or to learn things or to relax and get away from their lives.
Yeah, everyone does it for different reasons. And even I have done all the different reasons.
Yeah, too. Yeah, me too. And then we were just talking about that it is Libra season. Yes. And so, with that comes balance. Libra is the sign of balance. And so something that we haven't been able to do for a really long time due to the coronavirus and being in the shelter-in-place quarantine is travel. So we want to do this episode today because we recently have both gotten to travel after our shelter-in-place orders have been lifted, but then also, we picked this card and it kind of just tells us and reminds us that it's time during this season to find more balance in our lives, and maybe that's something we've been depriving ourselves of.
Yeah.
All right, so we asked you guys some questions on our our Instagram story, and we're going to discuss those, and then we're going to talk about why we asked those questions. So... Our first question, thank you. I'm so literate. Our first question was, have you taken a solo vacation? And 28% of you said yes, you have taken a solo vacation, but 72% of you said no. I would be in that 72%. I have not taken a solo vacation.
I just took my first solo trip ever.
Yeah.
And I cannot recommend it enough.
Yeah.
Honestly, I had such a good time. I just was living down there basically for the week, like I was.
She went to San Diego.
I went to San Diego, and it was so great. I met so many great people. I just was thriving.
Yeah,
so I took scooters,
and you kayaked.
And I kayaked, and I just
went to the beach a lot.
I was at the beach every single day, which makes my heart very happy.
So
I
nice.
Cannot recommend that enough. But not everyone likes the beach. But the sand there is so nice.
But it doesn't matter where you go on your solo trip. You are recommending to take a solo trip.
Yeah. Well, obviously San Diego was really nice.
That was your preferred place.
But I think it was just the idea of, I'm doing this thing on my own, and
Mhm.
that is scary and
Mhm.
it's intimidating. And you're gonna want to ask people to come with you, and
Mhm.
you think that, oh, it's gonna like suck, like I'm not gonna have anything to do. Well, it didn't matter. Like I found things to do.
Yeah.
I like the first night I like got ready, like I got hella
That's so
cute and
cute.
like took myself out. But then that's the night where I like ended up meeting hella people, and I just had such a good time
Yeah.
because like my vibes were just there, I guess. But I don't know, it was just so freeing. Like I was
Yeah.
on my own agenda. I didn't have anything to do. I didn't have anywhere to be.
And like I feel like the cool thing about doing it is now you have like so much more confidence probably. Like yes, you stayed at like an Airbnb or whatever and you're not like out here doing like a survivalist solo mission. But
Yeah,
it's like a lot of times you don't know that you can do it until you do it.
yeah, that's
So,
very true.
that's really cool. And like I feel like something else that we talked about, I think on the questions maybe or maybe not, I don't remember. Was like if traveling alone is safe. A lot of people
Mhm,
say like, "Oh, go in groups because it's safer, especially for like women."
mhm.
But I really feel like as long as you're prepared and you're knowledgeable and you're aware of your surroundings, like then that's great. Like
Yeah.
you
And you'd be so there was a moment where I was like sitting at this table at a bar. Well, it was like a restaurant, but anyways, and these group of boys like came up to me and were hella talking to me, and like
yeah,
I'm sitting there by myself.
right.
The waiter came up and was like like trying to help me, Like
Oh,
I was fine. I handled
yeah.
it. It was the guys were nice, but
That's so nice.
you'd be surprised how other people are
Yeah,
because
people
they're
watch
aware.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, they're aware that you're there by themselves, and so that's cool that he was kind of looking out for me.
So, what are your three tips? Like, if you were to give
My three
someone
tips.
advice or me advice on traveling solo, what are like the three things that you would say like you have to do or that you should do
I think that you should do one thing that's out of your comfort zone
on the trip?
on the trip,
Okay.
like maybe the whole going, not
Is out of your comfort
not
zone.
just going on the trip, but I mean like I went kayaking in the
Hmm.
ocean by myself, and it was
Hmm.
3 miles. And have you ever seen me do anything
No.
like that ever?
No.
No, exactly.
Okay, so that's great.
So do something like that just because you can,
Hmm.
like you're there. Why not? Like you might not have that
Live a little.
opportunity ever
Yeah.
again, and you get that's where you get to see like the most incredible things and
Yeah.
have like really good experiences. So that's number one. Number two, I would say do a lot of research just like on the area. Like if you've never been there, do a lot of research to where you're going and the place that you're gonna stay.
That's smart.
Because like I picked my place because it was really close to like where all like the partying and like where fun things are, and it's like right
Yeah.
by the beach, but it was also far enough away for me to like get away.
Hmm.
But also like I picked my place, one, because of the view, but two, because it was actually gated.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah.
So I felt
Yeah. So like
safer.
the
Yeah.
preparedness of it also helped
Yeah.
you feel more
Yeah,
comfortable.
in a way I was prepared,
Yeah.
but I was still like going with the flow, if
Right.
that makes sense.
Right.
And the last thing I would just say, like, just don't like when you're on those trips, just don't be afraid to say yes.
That's so
Like
nice.
do things that you normally wouldn't do. Like I
Yeah.
had guys coming up to me and like asking me for my number, and like I got a drink with one of them,
Yeah.
and it's like normally I would have probably have been a bitch and been like, no, don't fucking
Get
talk
away
to
from
me.
me.
Yeah. But I was like, I'm not gonna fucking be here again. Like
Right.
who cares? Like this could be the best time of my life. And
Right.
it wasn't the best time of my life, like hanging out with them, but I had a really good time and everyone was really nice. It was just cool. Like it was cool to talk. I talked to a lot of locals,
That's nice.
so
That's
that's what the cool part about it,
that
I think.
almost makes me want to go on a trip by myself.
I could
Almost.
never see you doing
I
that,
would
but
I probably would
you
never.
should. You should.
Don't be like me is our message. Go on trips by yourself and
You should. I highly
yeah.
recommend it. I had such a good time.
I
Like
think
I
it's
cried when
a
I
good
left.
learning
I didn't
experience.
want to
I
leave.
I feel like it's a good experience to have. We're recommending the solo trip. Okay, so we're going to go into our next question that we asked you guys, which was do you prefer to travel in bigger or smaller groups? And 11% of you said bigger and 89% of you said smaller.
Which I think I voted actually on on this one, and I think I put smaller.
I would also put smaller. I feel like traveling takes a lot out of you, because you're in a place that you're not used to. But also it does require some planning. We'll talk about planning later because that was one of the questions. But it requires some type of like, all right, we have these people that we're here with, and now we're gonna go do something. And like just getting there requires it. Deciding on what you're gonna do requires planning, or like meals, like cooking or whatever for everybody. Also, I just feel like personally I get overwhelmed with like more people because it's more personality types and more people wanting to do different things, and also maybe the space that you're in.
Well, it depends.
Yeah.
I've been on a few large group trips, and they are both a lot of fun. So I see why I would want to do that. If that's the kind of vibe that you're going for.
Yeah.
You just want a big party kind of trip, that's fine. But yeah, it takes a lot, because it's like I feel like it takes fucking 3 times as long for us to get to the place where I need to be.
Anywhere.
And it's like,
Any
fucking
place.
get your shit together, people.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I feel the entire time.
Yeah.
But I mean, so it is fun.
It is, yeah.
But I think it's just, if things go way more smoothly and you can have like more intimate, like fun time in a smaller group.
Definitely.
Basically.
Yes, 100% agree. I have gone on those trips. Like one of my birthdays that I did a while ago was like my 20th birthday, I think.
Yeah.
Dang, that was 5 years ago. We took like a trip to our house in Toluk that we have, and it's not that big of a house, but we had like, I don't know, like 15 people maybe.
Yeah.
Like a lot for like one house with 3 bedrooms, and it was fun, but like it was wild. Like dinners were really hard. We couldn't fit anybody in one car or even 2 cars. We had to have like 3 cars to go anywhere, which there's not much around that area, so it's just like a lake. But we considered renting a boat, and then we had too many people for the boat. It was like 10 people max on the boat, so we'd have to get 2 boats, and it's more expensive, and like it was just a lot. And everybody was like doing their own thing during it, and like I'd lose people. Like there was one night when like a few of the boys that we were with like went down to the lake and jumped the fence, and then you're not supposed to be down there past dark, and then we got in trouble the next day, and the group that went down to the lake was the one that got in trouble like the next morning, and it was me and people, and they were like, you guys were down here last night, and we were like, we weren't, we don't know what you're talking about. But it was like somebody else in our group, but our group was so freaking big we didn't even have any idea that those people had gone down there. It was a lot. But I feel like some of my favorite trips are small people trips. Like, when you and I and like the boy, like your ex, my boyfriend, would go somewhere, it's like we had such a good time.
Yeah, those were fun.
Those were like, and it's so easy. Like you guys just all hop in the car, and then we can go to dinner, and then from dinner it's like whatever. And planning stuff isn't hard. It can be more spontaneous, I think, with fewer people.
True. Like you have to plan more when you're with a large group of people, because you all have to be on the same page all the time.
Right. And like timing is an issue. How you're gonna get somewhere is an issue. You can't go that far. You don't want to pay for an Uber that's like fucking 40 miles away or whatever. Like, but with us, it was like, oh, where do you guys want to eat? And we're asking I'm asking 3 other people, and like you're gonna be fine with whatever I want. So is Josh, and it's like, and I feel like you do get to bond with those people more.
Yeah, because when you have a bigger group, it's almost like just a party, and it's like you have small conversations with everyone. You're just like socializing at that point. It's not.
But totally.
Like intimate is the only word I can think of.
I
don't mean sexual. I mean like personal.
Intimate, as in like close.
Yeah,
more like particular to who you're talking to, rather than like I'm talking to a bunch of people about nothing. You're talking to a few people about cool stuff because you're with them for like a decent amount of time, I guess, when you're traveling. At least a weekend.
I just went to Tahoe too. And that was fun.
With your boys.
The boys, that was a good time.
Yeah,
and it was like a smaller group too.
Right.
So
we
had sometimes shit goes wild no matter how many people are with you. But
I mean, you can't...
other than that, it was a good time.
So I guess our consensus here is that we also prefer to travel with less people. Like,
we agree with our majority on Instagram.
Yes. Our next question, I like our next question. It's, where do you prefer to travel? 53% of you guys said more rural areas, and 47% said take me to the city. So it's pretty even.
What is yours?
I like more rural areas, like more
agree.
natural, more like not city areas.
Rural.
I think it's because we live in a city.
Like we don't,
but we're very close to it. We live in a suburb.
Yeah.
So it's like we're very close to a big city, and we go to big cities often for things. Like all the events we go to are either in San Jose or San Francisco, and it's like We're there all the
I hate
time.
going
It's super
to the
close.
city
Yeah.
too. I never have a good time.
I have had like a couple of good nights in the city or like good fun days, but it's always like
Yeah.
shopping or like I'm
I've
going
had,
to
like,
a show
some good
or
days in the city.
I'm going out because it's someone's birthday and we got a hotel and we're just getting shit faced, like,
Yeah.
and we just want to be somewhere that's awake the whole time.
Yeah.
I feel like cities kind of bring out that vibe more. Like, okay, so like a city that I've traveled to that's like a big city that was really cool was New York. Like
Yeah.
it's fun. There's a lot of stuff to do there, but stuff that I do miss is like the nature stuff. Like I
Yeah.
love hiking. I love going on
And
hikes.
like cleanliness too.
Yeah, I mean, you can't help but be feeling a little bit dirty in a city because bigger cities have more trash and a higher homeless population
Yeah.
and
When
there's
I was in
more
San Diego,
crime.
I only went to downtown for like an hour,
Yeah,
if that, because
right.
I was like, okay, this sucks. Like I'm going back to
Yeah.
to the beach area.
I also feel like, just personally, my opinion is that when you travel and you're in like a more like natural or like secluded away from the city type of area is when you um maybe have more in-depth experiences with yourself just because it's more quiet. Normally maybe you're like a little bit, at least I am like a little bit more unplugged when I'm in those areas. Maybe you don't have the best Wi-Fi or you don't care and your phone's off. I've gone to Tahoe plenty of times and just not had my phone the entire day or the whole week I was there.
It is so important to get off your phone
Yeah.
when you're traveling.
Even if you're in a city. I mean, that's just a good travel tip that we would recommend is like be in the moment, wherever you are.
Yeah.
But
I have like 0 pictures from me being in San Diego.
Yeah.
I was like,
I know when we FaceTimed, I was like, "Hi, have you sent a picture to me yet?" No, and then you're like, "I'm not taking it."
I was like, I don't. I mean, I took a couple snaps here and there to put on my story, just for me to save. But like, I'm not gonna sit there taking pictures by myself. Like, it's fucking weird.
No.
When I went kayaking, there was these 2 girls who were like kayaking, and they bought one of those like waterproof necklace things to keep your phone in. These bitches were on their phone the fucking whole goddamn time.
Dang, really?
As we're kayaking in the middle of the ocean, these bitches are on their phones, and I was like,
"See, like,
are you okay?"
Love
like,
that for photos.
They like ran into me one time.
Oh,
I was like, "Bitch, put your phone down. I didn't even bring my phone. Mine was in the locker on land."
Yeah. Dang. I'm like, I definitely brought, like, when we were in the water in Hawaii, I, like, well, I didn't bring my phone, but I bought, like, a disposable camera.
Well, yeah.
For
That's
photos.
nice.
I love that. Yeah. I love documenting.
But I was like, I'm by myself, though, so, like, what the fuck am I going to take a photo?
Right,
I'm like, I'm not going to sit there taking selfies.
You, like, pass it to one of the people on the next kayak. You're like,
I thought about asking one of them to take my photo, but they were, like, not the warmest people. Yeah. So I was like,
Yeah, that's rough. But anywho,
who knows what we talk about on this podcast anymore, honestly.
But yeah, I feel like both of us do. Maybe it's just like our personality types too. Like we thrive more in like a natural setting. We connect more. We feel more like
I feel
peaceful.
like we both love the water.
Yeah, we do. So normally there's not water in cities.
Yeah,
that's why
water has to be involved on our trips.
A city that I did like that had water through it that I've spoken about on here before was Amsterdam. And Vancouver. Vancouver was dope because it's right on the water. But Amsterdam had rivers like flowing all through the whole freaking city.
Well, yeah, that's cool.
And it's cool. And they like move around on bikes mostly. Like there's very few cars. So it makes it feel less of a city.
I took the electric scooters like everywhere on my trip.
It's cool.
It was perfect.
I was like the different things, like, yeah, you had your car, but you didn't even need it.
Yeah, I left my car parked like the whole time.
That's so nice.
Except to go get Starbucks.
Yeah, well. I hate you.
I had to.
Okay, so our next question that we asked you guys, this one's also pretty close. When you travel, do you have a plan or do you play it by ear? And 42% of you are planners and 58% of you go with the flow. I'm a planner.
I know you are.
Yeah. I like to plan things. You know why? It's not even because I want to have a plan that I want to stick to. It's because I like to find stuff that I haven't done before or like fun activities. One of my biggest like peeves about traveling is when you're somewhere and it's really awesome, but then you feel like you didn't do shit. Or like, have you ever had that experience where you go to a place and then you leave the place? You had your trip and you did some stuff, but it was pretty fun. You thought it was fun, and then you leave and then you see somebody else in that place and you're like, oh my god, they're doing the coolest things. Like I didn't even know I could do that there, or like
Well,
what the
yeah.
heck, what I wish I ate at that place or whatever. So that's important to me. I want to feel like I got the best out of the trip. So my planning is more like, it's like itinerary style, but it's not day by day, like hour by hour. It's like these are places to shop that are cool. These are places to eat that are cool. These are places to grab a drink that are like unique bars, or bars that I don't have here, or like they're local bars. Like I love finding shit like that is like highly rated by locals, or I don't know, just like on food blogs. I watch diners, drive-ins, and dives, so I always like to know where those places are because it's really good food. And like for the road trips, I just took a road trip of 2 weeks, and we traveled to a bunch of different states that I've never been to. So for all of those, I looked on travel blogs to find the best activities in the area. I looked at like the must see attractions, and I looked at diners, drive-ins, and dives to see where they've gone. If you go on the Food Network, they'll tell you where like they've had any Food Network show. So we tried a lot of those places out, and they were amazing. But then also, like on Instagram, a lot of travel blogs have their food recommendations and their drink recommendations. Like we went to this place in Wyoming called the Cowboy Bar that was like I found online, but then while we were walking around through the town, a lot of people told us to eat there or like get a drink there. They have a restaurant too, but we didn't eat. But it was so cool. It was like all cowboy themed. Like the bar stools were saddles, like horse saddles, and they had all these old western things in it. And like, of course, there's like taxidermy bears and deers on the wall because it's like a hunting area, which freaked me out. But
That's not your vibe.
oh no, I like cried in one of the stores because there was so many freaking dead animals.
Oh my
But
gosh.
they were like all above my head. I was freaking out. But it was cool because you feel like you've experienced something new. And I guess that's really important for me when I travel is I want to have an experience.
Yeah.
So that's why I plan, not that I can't go with the flow. I love to go with the flow too when I'm traveling.
For me, I don't like feeling like I'm on a time limit though,
Right.
So like I said earlier, like I'll plan out the area I want to be and like maybe this is what I'm going to go do that day or like
Yeah. Or you
but
find a thing that you want to do. Yeah.
well, yeah, but like I had no intention of kayaking before I went.
Really?
Yeah, first I was like, oh, like I really want a horseback ride. Like that sounds really fun. I want to go do that, but they were booked, and the beach wasn't even open. So I was like,
yeah,
they had like canyon trail rides, and I was like, I don't want to do that. And so then I just like looked on this paper that the Airbnb lady gave me like recommendations, and it was like, oh, kayak in the La Jolla Caves, and I was like,
you're like, I'll
click,
pick that one.
fucking send it. And so yeah, I had like this idea of oh, like this day I'm gonna beach all day, and then I'm gonna like go eat and like do that. But it was like whatever I stumbled upon,
Yeah.
I just kind of walked in, and it worked really well.
That's nice.
I
Yeah.
had lobster taquitos at one like a random bar,
That's so nice.
and I walked in and it was happy hour, so I got a double for the price of a single.
Great, we love that.
And I got lobster taquitos, and that was where the waiter was really nice. So
yeah, you're less planned than I.
Yeah.
In that.
But only just because like I don't
like remember when we went to Tahoe and I like had like the whole beer trail that I wanted to take all mapped out already. Like that is my level of planning.
And I had a great time, but it's because I was going with your flow.
Right. I am the flow.
But yeah, I'm not like I'm good at planning things. Like I know how to plan things, but when I go on trips like that and it's like I'm just there, I don't.
You just want to be present and do whatever.
Yeah, I just do whatever I
want. Also,
want.
it's more of like a relaxed trip. You don't feel like you need to like go and see a bunch of shit all the time. Like you've been to San Diego plenty of times.
Which is like sometimes I feel like I'll go on when I go on family trips. Mike is a huge plan this, we're doing this at this time kind of thing, and I'm fucking exhausted by the end of the day.
It is tiring,
and so I'm just so that's why when it was like just me, I was like, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want to do.
Have you seen, did you watch Full House when you were young?
I mean, I've seen it.
Okay, so I've seen every episode of Full House, and there's this one episode and they're in Hawaii, and like Danny Tanner, like the dad, has like he's like the itinerary dad. Like he comes out in his short shorts and like sandals with his fanny pack, and he like has his itinerary, and he's reading off like at 1:00 we're gonna do this, and then at 2:30 we're gonna swim with the dolphins, and at 3 we're gonna watch the show, and then as he's reading this list, like he has it in front of his face, the scene, and then like all the kids start like dispersing, like as he's reading it, and he gets to the bottom of the list, and he's like, "All right, everybody ready to go?" And he looks up, and no one's there.
Oh my gosh.
You know, and it's like I never want to be that person. Like I don't want
Yeah.
to be that, but I want to like I'm not set in my plans.
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to have a lot of options because I have taken trips that were somewhere and then we do like one thing in an entire day and I'm like, "Damn, I do so much here." Like I don't want to just do nothing. But that's me. That's like my
Yeah.
type of
Well, I think there's benefit to both.
Yeah,
you know,
there
and
is,
I
totally.
think that's why this question was so split.
Yeah.
You know, because yeah, they're like if I were going to Europe, like I would hope I would have more of a plan.
Right.
You know, like I'm not just
Yeah,
gonna
our
book
Europe
I'm not
trip
gonna
was
book my I'm
wild.
not gonna book my flight and be like, okay, I'm gonna wander around
Let's see what
Europe
happens.
now. Like
Well,
that's kind of sketch.
Europe is a really good example because some places you can't do that with. Like when we went to Europe, we went to Barcelona, and in Barcelona there's the Sagrada Familia house, which is like a big church, and you have to have tickets to go in, and it's
Well, yeah.
specific times. So like certain things like that, or like I went to a rave when I was in Barcelona, like a beach festival,
Yeah.
and I had to have that beforehand too, you know. And
Mhm.
so especially like I think traveling foreign or to very popular places, it's important to have some sort of a plan because like yeah,
Yeah.
you can't do everything. Even like Vegas, you know, it's sometimes hard to get like show tickets last minute.
Yeah, yeah.
So some
Yeah, I think for me like the most ideal thing is like I have some things planned on certain days,
yeah,
but it's
but then
like
some free days.
I'm doing this at 4 this day, and but before that I can go do whatever,
Yeah.
and then it's and like
That's how
kind
like
of
we
play
did
it.
Vegas when we went. That was really nice.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, we'll go get brunch maybe, I guess, beforehand, and
Yeah.
then like we can have downtime and then go do and then
Whatever.
like go out, you know.
Yeah, go to a
so,
club at night, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree that's why it was so split is because like
Yeah, because it goes both ways.
and both are cool and important, I guess, and like for
You
different
should be able
purposes.
to do both.
Yeah, yeah.
In life. Like you
Yes.
should be able to plan things out, but also you should be able
That's
to
our
notice when
yeah.
it's time to step back and just like fucking chill, you know.
That's our conclusion for this.
Yeah,
for
that's our
this
conclusion.
question is do both. All right, so we are now on our last question, which is does traveling teach you anything? And 38% of you said no, traveling is just to chill, relax. You don't want to learn anything. And 62% of you agree with us that traveling is knowledge and it's important and it teaches you so much. I've learned so many things that I would have never learned if I wasn't traveled, you know?
Yeah.
And like mostly is cultures, like different cultures. I feel like you learn this is traveling like abroad, you know, foreign travel is I feel like it's so important to understand different types of people, different types of cultures, and you really like you can only learn so much through a textbook or through the research, you know, but to see that and to live that is so important and it makes you such a different, like much more well-rounded person, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
And it helps you appreciate stuff. Like
Yeah,
maybe
it helps you appreciate like different places and different
yeah,
people and like
or
really
what you have or
get to
don't
know
have,
them.
you know? Like
Yeah, that too.
it helps you appreciate your own space, but then also it helps you like also set goals, you know? Like when I was in Europe, there was stuff that the apartment that we stayed at in Barcelona had the worst beds. Like they were like bricks. So I was so thankful when we got to the next location, which was like Milan, I think, or somewhere in France. But just to have a bed, like a soft bed, I was like so appreciative after sleeping on this freaking brick, and it didn't have air conditioning, and it was 105 degrees. So just simple little things, you know, like obviously you can be appreciative of that without traveling, but
Yeah, well, I think honestly, like being able to travel teaches you to be grateful too.
totally,
You know, like
yes,
not everyone gets to travel. I know people who have never left the city or never left the state.
yeah, there's plenty of people that have never been to the beach, like just things that we love so much.
Like we're very fortunate, and I think it's like that is one thing that traveling can teach us.
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
And other things too.
But also, I think traveling teaches you to be like patient. You know, there's a lot of stuff
Very.
that goes on. Like when we on our Europe trip, when we were going through customs in London, we had to wait 3.5, almost 4 hours to get through that line. So it's like, and it's you're with a bunch of foreign people. You're all standing smushed together in this line. Everybody's speaking different languages. You're frustrated. You can tell other people are frustrated just by like their mannerisms. It's just like a weird airports are always like anxious anyways, you know, and then you're just standing there like waiting to go through and you see people that are not going through, like being detained. It's weird, but it teaches you, patience and just to calm down in stressful situations. Also, traveling, like once you're in the location that you're in, your mode of transportation or travel is like different too, you know. So it just teaches you to be kind of like more
teaches you life
witty,
skills,
I
like
guess,
being able to figure things out
and adapt.
Yeah, being able to adapt. There's so many things that traveling
It's
can teach you. We
so
could keep
much.
going.
I know.
We keep just listing random things.
I know, but it's so what we're saying here is travel is super freaking important. Like whether it's just to a different city,
even just a couple hours out of town, or like for an hour
for
away,
a multitude of reasons. Like maybe
Yeah.
those reasons are not the different culture appreciation for people type thing, but maybe it's just because you need a little break, or you want to focus on yourself a little bit, or you know, you want to spend time with one person and you don't want to do it at your house. And you know, like you can travel for a ton of purposes, but I think all travel is good. Even if it is like work travel, you know, you can always learn something.
I think it's important to note that even if like the only time you get to travel is for work, that's when you should take that opportunity to like go do those little things that we're saying. Like, oh, you know that you're gonna be done by 3 o'clock or whatever.
Yeah.
You have at least
don't
6
just sit in your
hours
hotel
to go.
room.
Go do something. Like go check something out. Like something local. Ask people. Oh, what should I check out? Or look ahead of time and find something cool over there that you need a ticket for.
Right.
And just go, even if it's by yourself. Like go check things out by yourself. When I was by myself too, I would be somewhere and they'd be like, "Oh, like, are you waiting for someone?" And I'm like, "Nope, it's just me." And they're like, "Oh, you're just traveling by yourself?" And I would be like, "Yep,
love it."
And every single person would be like, "Wow, that's really cool." And I'd be like, "Yeah, I know."
I agree with that, but I think that is something that we should tell everybody to be careful with too. Is like be cautious of who you tell that you're alone. Like obviously it's your waiters and you feel comfortable, but like the don't tell a random gas station clerk that you're
No, it would be like someone I would be chatting with, you know, who was really there was this girl who she was my kayak tour person, and she was really cool. She was like our age and just like
non-threatening
lives in San
people.
Diego. She was cool.
When Miranda, my cousin, went on she had like training in San Diego, and she went with like a couple of her other coworkers, but she was only really close with this one girl. And after they trained, they like went out and did stuff, you know, like they went to dinner, or they like went and checked out a couple stores and stuff. And so it's cool to be able to have that time, even if it is time taken up by something else for part of it, you know. Like definitely take advantage of every situation that you get put in. I think work travel has its benefits. All travel has its benefits. Travel is great. Please do it. Highly recommend. If you need travel recommendations, let us know. We've been a lot of places too, so we'd love to tell you where we've been and tell you where you should go.
Wow, a great moment to tell people that Jess and her sister started a travel blog.
Aw. Yeah, wow.
It's really cute.
That's so nice.
I read her post, like, was it this
you
morning?
Did?
I did, yeah.
It's called Hey Sister.
Yeah.
Spelled HAYESISTER because my last name is Hayes. So it's like Hayes.
I understand.
I'm explaining to our viewers.
Okay.
I'll tag it. But yeah, you can check it out if you want.
We'll travel, get to know places.
Yeah. Get to know places. We give food recommendations. We're huge foodies. So
I think it's a good opportunity for you to combine like both your love for travel and food.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
And I know Steph is the same way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And we're like adventurous. So like it has activities, it has cool places. We also love photography. So all the photos on it are taken by us. And yeah. Anyway, that's just a cute little plug for myself. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So I guess we'll wrap her up. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week.
Yeah.
And travel somewhere this weekend, you know?
Yeah, thanks for listening to it. If you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed us rambling on about traveling. But I don't know, it's something we're passionate about.
Yeah.
So it's our podcast, whatever.
Yeah. You like it or you don't.
Yeah.
Hopefully you like it.
I'm sure you do if you're still here.
But like, subscribe, comment.
Yes. Do all the stuff.
Watch our YouTube videos if you don't watch us on YouTube, if you're just listening like on one of the streamings.
Whichever, yeah.
And then interact with us on Instagram. We're gonna continue to do this like question thing when we have episodes that we think should have your guys' input. So we actually got a lot of responses on these.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
that was pretty cool. So thanks for that.
Yeah. Hope you enjoy it all.
Yeah.
We're doing it for you, I guess. I don't know.
Mostly for
Ourselves.
us, but also for you. Hopefully it
For our
helps
listeners.
someone or inspires someone or whatever. We don't know.
Yeah. Share us your travel photos.
Yeah, we'd love to see where
We
you guys
like
have traveled
those.
to.
That'll be nice.
That'd be really nice. Yeah.
I'm sure we'll have like a post too.
Yeah. Slide into our DMs with your travel pics.
Yeah, we'll like them.
All right. Well, we love you guys.
Love ya. See you later. Bye.
I really can't tell if this bun looks stupid or not. I mean, it does.
It's
all over the place.
Excuse me.